Welcome everyone, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Run with the Wind, episode 18.
We have the different legs of the Ekiden. Okay.
They've scoped them out, they've gotten a bit of an understanding as to what it will entail.
Yep.
And we had a little bit of an encounter with not Shinji. You know, that was
Yeah.
it's always a bit fun there.
Apparently he's going to be on the starting lineup or whatever.
Yeah, so he's been putting in some work.
He has.
And it's the kind of thing where I feel like they're building up for kind of a big kind of emotional moment with him because he is a character that feels too, like they're giving too much emphasis on him to be just a simple bully, you know?
Right.
And he is tied to Kurihara's backstory in a really specific way, so...
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes
interesting.
down in the actual race.
Yeah, and given that we know, at least for now, Kakeru will probably be doing the second heat, the second bit of this here, given that it's basically where the aces generally go.
Yep.
That could be something where Kakeru is in the observing kind of state of things for the majority of the Ekiden, and thus could then interact with people and have some good character kind of moments.
Yeah, that would be
while everyone
quite
else
nice.
is running.
Yes.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
We have begun.
We have assembled the team.
Yep.
We have given the duties out. We have a couple problems. We have a couple problems.
Yes.
Shindo is sick. And we don't know if he will be able to be running at full speed.
Yeah.
By the time the race actually
And
starts.
he potentially has the most difficult part of the race, at least from the technical, physical, just what the environment is kind of angle.
Right.
So
now everyone else is experiencing the same thing as him.
Right.
So it's not like, you know.
Yeah, it's same
gonna-
distance for everybody, and at the parts that are traditionally easier to run, people will be, just running faster and all that stuff, right? So, okay.
But if he runs like that, he will be puking out his guts for sure by the end of it. And he could get sick for a really long time after that.
Sure.
Because his body will be spent.
And one of the things that I love about it is that the one who was looking out for him and being like, hey, you doing okay?
Yeah.
Is Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki.
The person who's running directly after him.
Yeah, oh.
So if there is, say, like, let's say Shindo, just can't quite run the way he normally would, and people pass him up a bit, well then
Yuki will make up for that.
All right, you've got gravity working in your favor.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Let's catch up.
Let's go.
Now, there's a cool little thing that we went and checked back on the previous episode to see what the actual sections are like. And one of the things that we noticed was that the actual finish line for Shindo does taper off and go to some flat parts there once they've hit a pretty bit of high elevation there. But then after that, Yuki has a nice kind of maybe more relaxing area and stuff with regards to that. And one of the things I noticed was that in that episode, he's like, wow, this is really awesome. This is really pretty here. And it was nice because it was so pretty, but also so quiet. But if Shindo performs poorly, then Yuki will potentially be alone for a bit of his run at that point.
Oh, sure.
Because he'll be so far behind everyone.
Yeah,
so it's very possible.
That is possible, yeah.
Yeah. But the Musa getting put as number 2, hell yeah, Musa.
Prince,
you've been going hard.
He has, yeah. And then Prince.
We got Prince in the lead.
Going in the lead. Like,
my God.
Oh man,
that makes me so happy.
I don't know I guess I was expecting for Prince to be kind of like more like someone who would run right before Kakeru. Right, and then it's sort of like and it'd be toward, I don't know where it would be, but but I always pictured Prince being the weakest link in the team for one, right? Which he still kind of is, right? But that you wouldn't have him go first, because you want to get that psychological advantage of getting ahead of everybody. That way, the people that come later have the people behind them, and it's I can't let them get ahead of me, right? To get you that extra push, but...
Yeah, usually it is good to run in the thick of people. Because what you end up doing is you're able to realize their pace, and then you can figure out what your pace is a little bit more effectively. If you're running by yourself, you have nothing to measure against.
And you don't want to be looking back.
And you never want to be looking backwards.
Yeah.
So it is best for them actually to figure out a way to, well, tactically, run right in the middle until the very end. And they put their strongest runners at the end.
Yeah, if they can do that, if the rest of them can hold on and just somehow keep it up, then
it can give a good foundation for Kakeru and Haiji to go all out.
Yes.
And Kakeru has never gone all out in this show thus far.
And I do very much like the idea of if they, let's say they give their all, right? But they're still the weaker runners on the team, right?
Oh, yeah.
And by the time it gets around to Kakeru, he is behind.
By
right?
a lot.
By potentially a lot.
Like something where there's no way they can win.
Right. Yeah. If we get to see them just, and we get the
With
full
that perfect form.
Yeah, showing just the muscles and everything, and the wind, going past him and everything, and he just takes off and he just starts, just passing people, right? That would be really cool. That would be awesome.
I am going to feel things deep in my soul experiencing this race.
Yeah.
I could tell that the animators were even prepping us for being like, guys, these crowds, we're not animating them.
Ooh.
We're going to be having some fun with the running here in the next few episodes, so buckle up.
But something that we won't be having fun.
Haiji is number 10.
Haiji's
and
number 10.
It makes so much sense that he's number 10.
He started this, he's going to finish it.
Yep.
But
he wants to be his Griffith greedy self here at the end, where he's like, "This is my spot. I'm going across the finish line. I started this. I'll finish it. Yep. That as a leader should. But we know the real reason why you put yourself here, and you and I were exactly in the right, similar, that none of his team then has to run after him there when he collapses at the end.
Right.
Because we know he's going to cross that finish line.
Yeah.
He is going to cross that finish line.
We saw it before in the previous race that they went all in detail for. I think that was the qualifier. Yeah. For the qualifier, we saw it.
Not the thing that they did this episode.
Not the thing they did this episode,
right.
But the qualifier, we saw that Haiji really went all out, even after getting hurt earlier that race.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And it's perfect then because the last episode can then be Haiji focused as he's running his leg of the race in general.
Yep.
And then we can have that moment that they showed in that part in the OP where there's the thing being handed off, and it's very clearly Kakeru and Haiji.
Yeah.
And Kakeru's handing it off to Haiji. So awesome! Really excited for that. But weirdly enough, the Haiji stuff is just the tension getting built up.
That's the thing that we sort of knew had to be a thing, right?
Yep. But Fujioka.
Oh, you're
and
right.
the Haiji backstory, and the whole interaction with Musa and Kakeru,
and apparently
that was
the idea
so good.
that Haiji has actually been injured not for 4 years, for 6 years.
6 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So he
Since
basically
his first year of high school. Yep.
So he basically just got to start running, in high school, right beyond whatever he did before that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, and what he said to the way that he was talking to Fujioka, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's over. I'm not that strong a runner, right?
Well,
I'm not that strong.
You mixed it up a little bit. He basically is like, hey, my athletic career may be over, but I'm happy with this. This is fine. This is okay.
Even though I didn't get to run with you once because of PT.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, it's not over. Believe in yourself. And then he drops the
I'm not that
fakest
strong.
of smiles.
Yeah.
Because we saw the way it made him feel pain there for that brief bit, and then he turns around with the smile and his eyes shut, being like, don't worry, everything's fine.
Yep.
This is okay. I'm not that strong. Coming from the strongest spirit in this whole dang story, that's just so that's a knife that cuts deep.
Yep.
Because you realize then what strength he summoned up just to make all this happen.
Right. Yeah. So we've talked before about how time skips are dangerous with regards to characters. Now, this is not a time skip per se. It is a flashback.
Yeah.
But you've got kind of a similar potential issue. With a regular time skip moving forward, you want to make sure that the growth of the character is easy to track with, and that there's nothing that feels weird or like they've completely turned into a different person without reason because people do change over time, so if you do a time skip, the characters will be different. You don't want to surprise the audience.
Yeah.
But with a flashback, when you're going back this far, well, how do you make it? If you're going to have the character be way different in the flashback, you got to sell how they turned into the person that they are in the present.
Yeah. And there's a couple things that are very logical to deduce from this.
Yep.
Yep.
At this point, he said, I'm not that strong.
No.
And he believed it.
Yeah.
But at some point, over those 6 years, he continued to struggle. Mm-hmm. And he went through hell, and he
got strong.
He got strong, right? And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. You can't tell if someone's strong when everything's going easy for them.
Yep.
You tell if they're strong when everything's not going well.
Right.
Right? That's when you tell. That's when you can really see how strong someone is.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So this was a really powerful thing because Haiji had said before that the best compliment you can give to a runner is not that they're quick or fast or anything like that, but it's that they're strong.
Right, especially for long distance runs. Yeah.
But he was talking about something else in addition to that. Mm-hmm. He was talking about the mental fortitude to keep going.
Yep. And in Fujioka...
putting another foot in front of the other.
And Fujioka talked about that when he was talking to Kakeru and Musa about how, hey, if people are going to make, dumb comments and stuff, let them.
Yeah.
They're amateurs, right?
They don't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about. Because when it comes right down to it, winning is not actually what matters most. And that surprised me for a second. Because I was like, hold on, that almost feels unprofessional. Like because isn't winning the important thing? Like, that's what you're going after.
No,
He's
it's
like,
not
no.
losing.
Well, right. But it's that there's the winning of the race, and that's one way that you can win. But there's multiple ways you can win. You can win against yourself, and you can lose against yourself too. And as long as you're winning against yourself, that's the main thing.
Right. I think he made the point specifically that the worst thing you can do is basically end up losing to yourself, basically.
Right. And that can happen regardless of where you place in the race.
Yeah. Even if I finished first,
Right. It's not that
in
finishing...
the world where times and speeds change, everything changes at dizzying speeds.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter ultimately.
Right. It's not that he doesn't care about winning. It's about he cares about more than winning. Winning isn't enough, right? He's figured out how to win. But there's more to it than that.
Right. He says here, don't we keep running because there are ideals and goals we value more than that. Yeah. And this is Haiji. Haiji basically is the character that determined that he would set the impossible goal in front of him,
right?
So that it would maybe give him the ability to become strong. Like, in some ways, he set a goal out far in the future in front of him and basically said, I will reach that, but in order to do that, I need to become strong. If I become strong, then I'll be able to handle all this stuff that I'm going through.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I run, but I'm guessing there were times where Haiji forgot why he was running.
Sure. And that's why he got so excited when he saw Kakeru.
When he saw Kakeru, exactly.
Right? You like running? All right, let's do this.
Right.
Like, because one of the other things that Haiji has talked about a lot of the time is, why do we run? I'm not even sure I know.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What is the point of running?
Right.
I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah.
He's still trying to figure that out himself when look at the journey he's gone on over 6 years. Well, I'm not that strong to, all right, we're doing the Ekiden.
Yeah. And that's the part that I feel like is just really sad here is we don't actually know much about Haiji's internal state.
Nope. We just know the externals.
A lot of the things that are all based around why we love Haiji so much is we assume certain things about his internal state because of what his external state constantly is producing.
And the and again the way you can tell strength is that that Haiji might be going through. He might still think I'm not that strong, right? There might still be that part of him where he's like, no, I can't actually believe in myself, and yet he does the things as if he does, as if he does believe in himself, right?
Oh my god!
Like fake it till you make it. It's a cliche, right? But there's an incredible amount of courage that comes from that, right? That you have to have in order to do that. To really, regardless of whether or not you think you can, to try as if you know you can.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so excited to see how he ends up leaning on the rest of his group here when it comes down to, well, the end.
Right.
And he keeps going. But okay. Haiji, you're a legend, man. I'm so proud of you. But then we have this little moment where Kakeru has this bit here with, his parents, his mom specifically. Yeah. After having said, goodbye to Fujioka here. I guess he does have a little moment with Haiji here as well.
Right, because Haiji's all saying like, "Oh yeah, what'd you guys talk about?" And it's like, well, he kind of dodges the question.
Right. Now, there's a bit here with regards to understanding here. Let's actually talk about this. This was something that I was really surprised by. When he kind of dodges the question of what they talked about. Yeah, he's like, what
it means to be strong. Yeah.
Yeah. But then he says, I understand now what it means to be strong. I understand what you meant then when you said, like, the highest compliment you can give a runner.
Yeah.
And that strength being something that's not actually regarding long distance running at all, that it's something that actually allows you to be able to just keep going. I almost want to say that this was him saying, like, I understand why you, like, were able to do this here.
Sure.
And there's a bit where Kakeru says that his coach told him something that just kind of, I don't know if he said it frustrated him, or I just got the vibe that it frustrated him, was that he said, well, what did the coach say? And I think he said, be patient.
Oh, uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
Be patient, that's all.
Yeah. He kind of looks up and he goes, what did he say? Yeah.
With those upturned eyebrows.
That's all. And he kind of has this bit there, and it's like they talked about a lot more than that, but just that's the thing that he took away. And I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, wait, be patient.
Because that's probably what Haiji didn't want to do, right? He didn't want to put up with the fact that, I can't run. And who knows how long it'll take. It ended up taking 4 years more after that, when he'd already been waiting 2 years.
Right. So 4 years goes by. Haiji learned the lesson of his coach.
Yep.
He was patient. He had to wait for 9 other guys to show up that he could Griffith his way into this whole new Band of the Hawk kind of thing here.
Yep.
And get to kind of be convinced that they can run the Hakone Ekiden. And that was his strength. That was his capacity here. He's building this. And in that respect, he didn't need to be strong, but he needed to be willing to keep moving. He needed to be willing to keep moving through that. Because there was times where, he had 5 maybe.
Sure. And I would say
no one was practicing running during that time.
Well, and again, that's what strength is, right? Because I could understand someone running some like really short distance race, and it's like, okay, you have the amount of energy that you have, and you try and put absolutely everything into it, and there you go, right?
Yeah, it's a factory gear thing. It just goes.
Yeah. But when it comes to like running 21 kilometers,
it's psychological.
That's a psychological battle.
Because at some point your body's just going to give out.
Right. and that's the whole point. That's what they've been practicing.
Right.
They've been practicing pushing their bodies to that point where it's like, nah, I'm kind of done. And then it's not, no, you can do more. I know you can do more, and keep doing it at a good pace. Too.
Right. Because that's the part. Crazy. Any of them can finish the time, but are they going to do it at that 98%?
Yeah.
Or actually put in everything.
Probably anybody could walk 21 kilometers, eventually.
No, not anyone.
Well, okay.
I'll tell you that.
Well,
I'll tell you that, dude. I'll tell you that. I have walked like 8 miles once, and it was hell.
Really?
Yeah. Just straight walking 8. Now, to be fair, a lot of this was on gravel, so that hurt a bit.
Gotcha.
But
gravel would definitely make it worse.
A lot of people do not even have the capacity to walk like 10 miles, which is what they're doing. They're doing 13 miles.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you serious? Like, you think anyone can do that?
Well, there was a point when I was backpacking in Australia, and there was a hike that was like 10 kilometers each way.
How old are you?
I was 19 or something.
There you go.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But I didn't feel tired afterwards.
No, I know. You were 19.
Well, okay.
30-year-olds and above.
All right, fair point. Yeah, okay, and definitely not a 70-year-old or something. But regardless, the point is that they are needing to do something very difficult here.
Very difficult.
And a very specific kind of difficult.
Yep.
So the idea of it is a whole lot more than speed, right? Mm-hmm. It's that internal will and determination, and I like that Haiji kept that in mind when he was assigning people to the segments of the race, right?
Yep.
Prince, the reason I'm putting you first, no, it's not to bomb the race.
Nope.
It's because you're the one that is most likely able to handle the pressure of, oh my God, this race is about to start.
Yep.
You know,
because he's in his own world.
Yep. He's
so in his own head.
You don't even exist here, right? Like you're just like no. What is this? I'm going over my favorite manga right now. Mm-hmm. You know, and so
finally confessed to so and so.
Right. Exactly.
In the recent.
Oh man, that was so good. That makes me want to go a little bit faster, right?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Right. And then with regards to like Nico-chan later, it's like no. You know how to run
at your pace.
At your pace.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Regardless of, whether people are around you or whatever, you'll be able to do it just fine.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Like that is important. That is important. Oh. And then Joji and Jota, the ones who maybe would have probably, I'm assuming, the most issue with something like that, he's like, no, I'll put you more towards the front and you guys are fast and everything, so you'll do just great there.
Yep.
But
and next to the sea at the part where you particularly like Jota.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, all this being said, we end up with a really, really beautiful picture of our boys realizing that this is going to be the biggest time of their life. So we montage
the Santa
all the
hats
prep.
And the disguised glasses on Nico.
But my final little just kind of bit here of I would say maybe a little bit in-depth analysis is that Kakeru kind of goes through the awkwardness of his parents dealing with all that shit. And Yuki kind of cheers him up a bit by being like, hey, I've been there, done that. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's okay. But he brings up something that I feel like is very Haiji related in an indirect kind of way. He just says, hey, I don't know how close we're supposed to be with my stepdad, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone's alone, It's stupid to try to understand others.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then Kakeru kind of has that little bit of wait a minute. Kakeru was just saying earlier that he thinks he understands what he meant by being strong. So in some ways he was saying I'm pretty sure I'm close to understanding you, Haiji. Mm-hmm. Yuki, I think, is wrong here in a couple ways. It is right in that it is impossible to truly understand another human being in a perfect sense.
Sure.
So in that sense, it is kind of stupid to waste your time trying to understand others.
Mm-hmm.
But others is a bit vague.
Well,
if you want to get close to someone and understand more of who they are, though, that is not stupid. That is actually very attainable because it's not a complete black and white kind of thing. And it's also a process. It's something that you actively will put effort into and see moderate results just from the effort itself.
Sure. And I believe there was something he said at the end of that where he was like, I've been acting a bit out of character recently, or being here has caused me to
living here has been throwing me off my pace.
Right, exactly. That's my usual way of doing things, but what can I say? Begrudgingly when in Rome.
Right, because he was breaking it to the point where he's like, I don't even do relationships. I don't do close relationships.
Yeah.
But of course, you cannot live in a house of 10 guys all that close to each other, all bunched up, going after the same goal and not get close to some of them.
Right.
I may be a lawyer, very difficult.
But I'm not entirely an alien lizard with no emotions,
hey, he's cold. He's cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that what was being hinted at here is that Kakeru, you're not necessarily going to understand Haiji in any kind of perfect way or even kind of how he was able to do this. But the effort that you're going through to understanding what he meant there so that you can have a bit of a clarity with why you run, that is worthwhile. That's going to mean something in the end when this is all, said and done.
When Haiji's in his hospital bed.
No, when you see him cross the finish line.
Yeah.
Because Kakeru is going to be there.
Yep.
He has to be.
He's going to be handing off the ribbon. Yeah.
No, I know. I'm meaning that once he's done,
Yep.
you think Kakuto's just going to sit there.
No.
He's going to get in the car
and then
drive around ahead
and they're
of him.
going to be cheering for him and also crying
exactly.
as he's...
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're all going to be together.
Yep.
It's going to be
wonderful.
a hell of a thing. But, okay. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.